Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together! Yes!
Yay!
Let's do it!
Here we go. Do.
So, I'm very interested in finding out what we know about the second letter.
Yes.
And what the owl can direct us to, and if Pasha has many, many secrets.
Pasha have so many secrets.
I am still kind of like going, I wish there was a way to play all the routes individually, but once you learn stuff, and have more context and lore for the world, you then go, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And so you can only do like your first route, no matter which one it is.
Yeah.
Experience.
That's
once.
it. You gotta pick wisely.
Choose the wisely. All right,
Die inside. After a long walk, we reach the edge of a clearing.
We do so.
The trees pull away. They physically get up and walk away to
reveal
reveal a small, squat cottage in front with a large front garden.
And I'm just imagining the trees just leaning back, Disney style, out of the way, bend away. Like you have this straight line of trees, and they all just lean to the side.
It's one of the early Disney shorts, which I think is called Trees and Flowers, and it's literally just dancing trees and flowers to music. So there we go. They're pulling away. Doing ballet moves, bending away. Here we go.
Portia's cottage. Why have you stopped, Chandra? Clearly, we are not at our destination.
Aye.
Chandra
ruffles up and hoots insistently at Nadia. So, I think the thing is we might have guessed the twist before the twist happened, is what I'm getting. There's no fucking way Portia doesn't know how to write.
And read.
But I didn't know that, why would Portia write the letter, is what I want to know. And also, again, that doesn't explain the other letter, because you have two of them.
Additionally, is Portia privy to their seals and the ability to use them?
I mean, if they are just in the rooms, and if Nadia hasn't always been around, you don't know what Portia has possibly been up to. Why, Nadia's been the one who's been out for a year.
A ton of time.
Yeah.
It's true. I thought Portia got hired after Nadia woke up.
Oh, that's true.
So Portia would have to be working real fast if she was doing this.
Why would Portia do that? Oh, okay, well,
hopefully we'll find out. Chandra, we are on quite a tight schedule. I would appreciate it if you took this seriously. Chandra, oh my god. Mom, listen. Mom, please. Mom. Oh my god, I will not mislead you. Why are we currently at Portia's door? She handles my mail. Of course, she touched the letter.
The owl gives us both a look.
Okay, question. If any mail ever comes to the palace for any other person, and Portia handles it all, how the fuck does she sort it unless she knows how to read?
That's another thing
and
that's sort of silly.
And never caught on to that?
That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm incredibly secret, yet I always bring you only your letters, and there's no other head servant or person that I have read them first to show me which are which?
Yeah, what?
Or does the mail courier, you say which ones are for Nadia, and they hand you those? And she
Can the couriers read?
How does your mail come to you? I certainly want to know about the mail system.
I know. The owl gives us both a look, then flies into the cabin. After a moment, Chandra returns with a piece of paper she drops into Nadia's hand.
A letter? It's in a script I don't know. Perhaps one of the Salt Flat dialects?
Okay.
So in a language you don't know?
That's what that sounds like.
Because script to me is just like a handwriting. It's not actually a language.
I mean, I'm not actually sure.
Like I said, I don't know that's the meaning. That's just what I'm familiar with. For script for me, has never meant language.
Well, let's take a look, because this is what we do. Script definition.
What is script?
Hang on. I'm going to do the Merriam-Webster one, because sometimes the one that Google shows you is full of crap. Alright, so it's just something written or text. Written characters, script, a verb.
So if it's just written characters, it could literally just be, I've never seen these kinds of characters before.
Yeah, maybe.
So it must be in something I know.
A script, yes. Maybe. That might be all I got. Alright, Bill.
A script you don't know, but also one you recognize visually to give it that specific of a statement.
Yes.
Salt Flat dialects. Perhaps she found it lying around somewhere. Portia confided in me that she does not know how to read.
Why would she lie to you about that?
Perhaps to get more access, because she because she really quickly understood that Nadia is very private and wanted access to her shit to protect her brother.
Oh, but that...
Maybe?
I don't know, that seems like going a bit far. Plus also, like, depending on your culture, that seems unusual that you would be like, hi, one of my basically head servants, my head handmaiden, whatever the fuck, doesn't know how to read. She'd be useless.
On the other hand, if the tasks you give her never require reading, such as, I always recognize the bottles of wine by appearance and never by label.
Right. But that doesn't mean, so a lot of times though, like culturally speaking, as far as I understand, in a lot of places, they didn't always have like written letters or a script. You usually had a series of symbols that were much more simplistic than an actual language.
Well, and it just
even though, I mean, like letters are a symbol, but
it depends on how common reading is here, and we don't know that.
Yeah.
We have no idea how common it is to be able to read here.
Yeah, that just seems strange. Chandra leans forward and nips hard at Nadia's hand, then hoots at her. Nadia, ow!
Nadia, excuse you.
Ow.
Whoa. Has she been lying to me? Her having this conversation with her owl while you're just like, this is your magical pet servant that you count on and trust completely. And now the first interaction I see you have, you doubt her absolutely.
Yes. Which is sort of hilarious.
This is a level of like going,
what if that's like part of Nadia's experience though? When people tell me, should I just believe them? Like, and I believe them wholeheartedly.
And then,
unless you've done something to basically, like, set off what I know.
On the other hand,
if I'm going to believe you, I'll believe you absolutely.
If she's also very suspicious. Even the people that I trust, I question. Going, I do trust my sisters, I just don't believe they'll do the right thing. I do trust my parents, I just don't believe that they're going to whatever.
That is true. Some people do actually
I absolutely trust my owl, but I don't believe she's made good choices here or understands. And it wasn't like, I think you're lying, I think you're wrong. It's like, I think you haven't looked thoroughly.
Right, or going literally, of course handling the mail, if that's what you're detecting, like going through basically the logic or the rationale of, because Portia cannot read or write, as it were.
And yeah, I think it's really just a matter of going, if I have something in mind, or if I believe a truth about, reality or something, and what you've shown me or decided doesn't line up with that, then I'm immediately going to be like, okay, have you looked further? Have you done all the work? Did you really think this through?
I need to know.
All right.
What work have you done?
Has she been lying to me? I need to find Portia.
Nadia? Nadia turns and strides back towards the palace, leaving me to hurry behind.
Oh, that's rude as hell.
Very rude. By the time we reach the palace again, Nadia has worked herself up into a whirlwind of anxiety.
I was going to say, I know why she did it, because she wasn't considering you at all.
Of course not.
I mean, the whole thing was us narrating her having a conversation with herself. Like, she barely knew Corazon was there in that thought process. And so, yeah, and then she just zooms off.
That's okay. She's not different so far from Julian in that regard, because a lot of times when they really get in their heads, they are gone.
It is just about their experience.
And honestly, that's not to say that, like, other people don't do it, but I find it to be interesting that there's a lot of, like, distinct, like, different characters where they all seem to share some fairly similar behaviors. But then again, if you're writing, you can start sounding similar.
I'll say, there's also a strong writing behavior, as far as I can tell, where it's an experience of going, the scenes are more about the character in front of you than they are about you, who is here to being a person.
Wait, because you're there to admire them, there to learn about them, and then you just sort of insert yourself where you feel like you can be a part of the story. Oh, that actually reminds me. So a fun little thing that we can actually sort of tell people here, at least I want to, is that we discovered, so there is a genre of book that we were fond of when we were kids, and we've discussed this actually on our Twitch, but we'll bring it up here, is that according to actual librarians, the reason why there are not more basically choose your own adventure novels,
and those are the things that my friend's referring to that we liked as kids, choose your own adventure books.
Because stories, visual novels like the Arcana took their place.
Yes.
So all if not most basically creators now of choose your own adventures are basically now creating what are termed to be visual novels now. Because they're all choose your own sort of story within that framework, which I think is adorable. Yes. It's sort of funny. And I'm like, we've been playing choose your own adventure books this whole time!
And we just didn't realize it because they were so completely and thoroughly illustrated.
Well, and it's also the fact that they're also, no, and again, this is not meant to be offensive. It's just an observation of fact, based on my experience with visual novels as they have stood so far, is that many of them are incredibly simplistic. They are very basic choices, and that's totally okay. Like, you don't have 10, 20, 30 endings in some books where you would have that, or like ones where you die because you made a goofy choice, or it goes really far off the deep end like you do in, like, typical
Interestingly enough,
choose-your-own adventures.
I haven't seen a lot of choose-your-own adventures that aren't romance-based. Like, visual novels that are interactive and have multiple endings that don't have some sort of romance or dating element
That's
to them.
a good observation, actually.
Now, I've seen a few of them that don't, if they're kinetic novels, but like, and
see, and I don't
I was just saying, but I don't
understand.
consider those to be, those aren't choose-your-own adventures.
To me,
they have no choices.
Those are ebooks.
Yeah.
Like,
just,
the thing is they're basically graphic novel ebooks. That's all they are.
Anyway, so it was neat because we talked to a librarian recently about finding some choose-your-own adventure books, and they said, yeah, we'll look those up. And then we had this, this sort of experience of them going, according to librarian lore, choose-your-own adventure books have been supplanted in the market or evolved in the market into visual novels.
Yep.
All right. Whirlwind of anxiety.
Whirlwind of anxiety. She turns on the Chamberlain as we enter the main hall. We have another character.
Who's the Chamberlain?
I don't know. We've never run into them before.
All right. Where is Portia? The salon with Princess Nasmira, milady. I see. Thank you. She says, very clipped, very strong.
She's like, I'm done. Nadia wastes no time as she strides for the salon. I follow her hot on her heels, dread sinking into the pit of my stomach. Except that's not true.
No.
What's up?
Okay, I'm just going, this is an entire castle. There's un salon.
Un salon.
I'm like, not the west salon, not the main salon, not the salon in your
the private
wing.
salon in this area. Yeah,
not your personal salon.
The salon.
It's just
the public salon.
It's just there's only one salon in an
or
entire
it could
castle.
be going the salon that has Nasmira in it, which wouldn't be your private one. It would be the more.
It would be basically hers because your suites and your salon. That kind of thing.
I don't know. It could be a language thing, like them assuming kind of thing. But it also
anyway. But yes, this would not face Corazon.
This would not. There is no dread. There's just Corazon going, fascinating.
I am observing.
And also going like, this might be kind of interesting because now I'm seeing you act. I love it when you act.
You're super motivated and focused again.
There is some sort of, I think, like now kind of awareness going like, are you acting or are you just reacting?
Mm-hmm. And going, let's see what is happening. But like, I think it's interesting that they do seem to want to make your apprentice uncomfortable or out of their elements a lot.
They do.
But then, which makes sense with how young they are, but then they don't ever want to seem to address how young they are.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting writing choice, and I'm not sure.
So for me, like, the whole, I am clueless, I'm out of my element, I'm easily intimidated, I get uncomfortable quickly, I get stressed out, easily, I'm also either shy or passive, suggests childlike to me in a way that works really well with your apprentice is 3 years old.
Yeah.
But since they never frame it specifically in that way, I wonder if it's really on accident. Anyway.
It might be.
Pit
of stomach, not mine, but somebody whoever you are.
I still love that portrait in the background so much.
It's so good. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful.
We burst into the salon, Nadia pushing the double doors open hard.
Nadia bursts into the salon. I follow gracefully.
Yeah, that's actually like, we burst into. No, Nadia bursts into the salon. I follow after her.
Mm-hmm.
Nadia parts her lips, taking in a deep breath, but stops as she sees Portia settled down on a couch next to Nasmira. Wow, you sure know how to tell a good story, princess.
And then Nadia is immediately intimidated.
What is the meaning of it?
There's a level of, okay, so that was a lot of subtext between those two lines of Nadia comes in completely directed, exactly an idea of what she's going to do. I'm going to burst and take command of the room. And then she immediately sees a thing that we've been told is really intimidating and uncomfortable to her, such as she sees Portia as a friend and or someone who likes her and is loyal to her, going, I will compliment your sister and be interested in her and join her in a familiar fashion, sit next to her. So Nadia is instantly going, you're stealing my people again.
Okay, so have silly fucking thing to point out, but it is an interesting bit of character. To the main character that they have written, Nadia has burst into the room.
Yes.
To Portia and Nasmira, since neither of them react to this bursting into the room behavior, that is how Nadia enters a room.
Yes.
Or that is normal behavior, like common behavior for Nadia.
Yes.
Which is a good thing to point out if, like, people don't realize that. Like, I would say sometimes, like, I would find that to be irritating when if she actually does burst in the room, I feel like the character should react, not go, well, you shouldn't have had to, but, like, completely just having a conversation.
Yeah, if somebody, like, especially with the big, heavy, and beautiful doors described in this palace, which I just assume are everywhere, despite the, not, like, the fact that not all of them have been talked about. If she comes just sweeping into a room, flinging the doors
Both
open.
doors open at once.
Kind of thing. And you just get Portia, I've been listening, and then I just casually sit down and continue my conversation with you. No reaction at all. Then yes, that's very normal.
Yeah.
That is something Pasha is super used to. And it's been normal for Nadia's whole life if Nazmira doesn't react.
Well, we
at
don't
all.
know that she's Pasha in this route. She's just Portia.
Portia. Anyway, Portia. I was going to say, but also Nazmira not going, oh, what was that? Is like, that's standard behavior for Nadia her whole life.
Yep, pretty much.
I like that. Well, that's really cool and interesting. I like that.
Because that was instantly why I went, why did Portia just not react? And it's like, oh, because Nadia breaks into rooms all the time, apparently. Or to, again, the main character. That is Nadia busting into the room.
But to everyone else, it's normal.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get your MC going, wow, that was forceful, and that's just normal.
And then it just goes, what?
Also, Nadia completely composing herself and going, I will not address my thing because you've just stabbed my self-esteem in the side, and what is the meaning of this? Oh, Nadia, I was just telling Portia about your...
no reaction. They didn't even notice that she'd really walked in at all. Not paying attention, not hearing anything, unless this room is goddamn huge.
Gigantic, but also if it's hugely gigantic and they're far enough away to not notice her bursting in, how is she going to hear this casual conversation where Portia, at basically normal speaking voice goes, wow, what a great story, and sits down sort of paying full attention to
and
her.
Especially has an indoor speaking voice too, because the thing is I always thought was funny was, so for like about a month I actually just went and hung out in the desert. It was a big huge thing, but when I came back into civilization, as it were, it was wild to realize just how loud we were all used to speaking when I was in this group, because suddenly you're like, holy shit, I'm just sort of shouting, like you were in enclosed buildings and going, I'm really loud.
And it's very different than being out in a huge open wasteland, where you do have to be louder.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, but yes, also the Nadia suggests, I didn't even notice you were here.
Yep, not at all.
And since her sister has displayed this really, I'm trying to pay attention to you, I really am here to engage with you, it would be one of those things of going, she didn't ignore her.
Yes.
She just didn't notice her.
Yep.
I was just telling Portia about your 5th birthday. You remember, don't you? I... see. Portia?
Yes, milady? How can I help?
Still sitting down. I have someone prepare a carriage. Corazon and I are leaving for the day. Whoa, that unsettled you so hard.
Or you really just cannot comprehend, basically, Portia lying to you and going, I don't know how to confront you, actually.
Or at this point, it's not only have you lied to me, but you also prefer my sister over me, so I'm not even going to deign to talk to you.
If that's even a thing. I don't... Honestly, like, I'm not
she
sure.
tried to do it right away with Corazon. Going, oh, you're going to like my sister better, aren't you? Just like everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And she really did it. You're always stealing my friends, constantly. You're going to do that here, too?
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway,
leading for the day.
It doesn't mean that's what's going on, but that's the read I get.
That's
is
fair.
Going, I already have been ruffled, unsettled that you may have been lying to me. And also, now I am just completely thrown off of, you know what? You're not a confidant at all. You're not even connected to me at all. You will like my sister better than me instantaneously. So we have no connection. I need room to breathe, to function. I give
Nadia a questioning look. Probably not so questioning as just curious. Is she really planning on saying nothing to Portia? At least in regards to, like, Corazon. It's fine with it. She pulls me out of the salon and down the hallway. Once we're far enough away, she drops back against the wall, taking a deep breath.
See, she was super thrown off. I need to get away from them. This sort of desperate looking at Corazon going, I need distraction. I need something else.
So you are still reacting.
We will go to Pontifex Fulgara's estate.
You're just running away?
I need to be anywhere but here right now. Corazon, you really did, or in that, had, but in this moment convinced yourself you don't, thought of Portia as being your confidant, being close to you, being trustworthy, and being someone you could rely on that would choose you. And your self-esteem, it seems, Nadia, is just extremely fragile in that
I was
way,
about to say,
in reference to your sisters.
You are a disaster.
Mm-hmm. She has been, there is something that has gone on that has hurt her so much in her past life that she is incredibly insecure.
Like that is also going to ask for like a shit ton of trouble, in my opinion, in regards to now I'm going to put basically, but you won't betray me, but you, and it's like that could be really unhealthy real fast.
Also, though, again, if she doesn't remember anything of the last 3 years, you know, a couple sleeping and one awake that's just amnesiac,
right?
Then all of this, this feels like a trauma response to me.
Yeah.
All of this is from when she was with her family and going, how bad was it? How scared and unsettled and insecure and invalidated did she feel her entire childhood to be able to be, that feels like a very triggered response.
By an entire, by just
going, this person that I trust has just seemed, in my mind, has just chosen someone else over me. I cannot freaking handle it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
and also, I cannot handle it again, especially if that was a very common thing that Nadia perceived kept happening.
Right, that she would perceive that her friends would choose them.
There is nothing to say, so we're, again, trying to not say that Nadia's perception of her reality is untrue.
No, it's completely valid.
We don't know if
it's true.
Yeah, but it's also like, for her, it was true. And that would be a conversation that she would probably need to have, basically, with someone going like, hey, what did you see? Because when you did this, I felt like this, kind of thing. And I know that's very therapy-ish of me, but I'm just kind of like,
that's fine. One of the things that I would like to ask is going, how is it that her family never noticed?
That's what I'm still wondering. It also, like, we've pointed out before, going, like, to each other even, just going, like, it seems like her parents were incredibly absent. She never brings up her mother and her father at all. It's only about her sisters.
Additionally, if her siblings did notice, and it was like, you're always really high-strung, you're always really defensive, you're always really a mess, none of them may be equipped to deal with it at all, and they might all sort of just either have gotten aggressive and defensive, or really like walking on eggshells careful, like Nazmira, and going, I'm not equipped to deal with this, I have no idea what this is, and I have no other resources of any kind, so you just seem, from the time you were a child to getting older and older, to just have gotten more and more distant and aggressive about everything, and we just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Alright, right now, Corazon. Alright. Her eyes search mine, looking for answers. I wish I could give them to her, except that I don't. It's just like, what are you looking for? I think in this case, for Corazon, going like, you'd have to ask them. Like, why are you running away? I think at this point would be like, again, Corazon's perception of Nadia really has been this thing of going, I have seen you as somebody who is very proactive, not reactive. And again, like I was going, this sort of interest going, I'm going to take care of a thing that I've seen that has gone wrong. You come in here and you instantly start reacting all over again. And going like, Corazon, what's going on?
I feel like Corazon could also be a little bit judgmental if they've ever essentially come home or arrived in a situation where Astra seemed like he was going to admonish them or redirect them, and then they also caved, you know, especially when they were younger, and going, if you're insecure and you're basically in charge of everything, then you're no better than me, but I'm going to judge you harshly for it.
Yes, absolutely, because sometimes you are far more judgmental about things that, well, you think you shouldn't do either.
Yes, people that are like yourself. All right.
But I don't know what this means either.
I don't know. I feel like if you dropped the either, it would work. I don't know what this means. I don't know what Nadia's going
for. I don't even know. Like, I don't think your character really has an idea of what Nadia's trying to do. I don't know what this means. Character just going, I don't know what this means. There's no either here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what, like, I don't think the character would be focused on, because basically this, in this case, would refer to Nadia reacting to Portia sitting next to Nazmira.
And that's the other thing going, what this means, I think that sentence actually previously had tapped through it, but I'm just like, I think, honestly, I don't know what this means either, is with the Portia talking to Nazmira thing, which seems like a strange writing choice, because I think you'd want to be like, your character reacting to what Nadia's doing, because you don't know what the deal is with Portia and Nazmira.
Well, and the thing is to a casual observer, there would be nothing between Portia and Nazmira. Yeah. There wouldn't even be a thing. That's Portia being a host.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's Portia being companionable and friendly and keeping the guest busy and entertained.
Which is exactly what she did before when you met her in the beginning.
Right. And so I was going to say, for the MC, for Corazon, there would be nothing happening between them that would be, I don't know what this is. It would be, I don't know what Nadia is experiencing. If you couldn't connect to, my sister still sets me off like crazy, and the information she shared of I'm crushed that Portia would choose her over me.
Which again, I think, like, part of the reason I think why, like, Corazon hasn't necessarily been, like, sympathetic to that experience, or, like, I feel what you feel kind of thing, is also because they don't have any siblings.
Right.
They're like, hey, baby.
They also, the only experience they have with family is with Astra of a parental figure.
Yeah.
All
I can do is promise we'll find answers together. Except
for
that I
you don't
would
do that
never
either.
do that. Okay, it's fine, whatever.
All I could do is assert to assist you.
Yes.
To be present with you.
Because that's what Corazon was like, I am here to help you, not find your answers for you. But I am here to, like, help you find the answers by being your tool to do those answers, not
together we will do this. It's like, I will do what you direct me to do, and it will uncover things.
Because you're supposed to be good. It's fine.
Here we go.
Hopefully it makes sense.
Into the next chapter.
Here we go.
Oh.
Nadia grips the reins tight as she drives our carriage deeper into the forest.
She has a carriage prepared, but she drives it herself. That's very interesting. Additionally, does this indicate that she was driving the other carriage? I thought she would, but she was sitting in it with you. So she did have someone driving that one. So this is very unusual behavior based on one precedent.
Also, that seems strange anyway, because why would Nadia...
Well, she wants to be alone, but she also... Interestingly, I'm like, are you then in the carriage or sitting up in the driver's seat with her?
Or is she literally having a... No, I'm still thinking going, is she being so paranoid now going, I cannot trust any of my staff, I will drive the carriage and you will come with me.
Oh, I feel like that's the case.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very much the case, but I'm also like...
She sounds very unstable in that.
Is there room for two drivers? Or are you ready?
Or two people to sit in the front? Yeah, Alright, deeper into the forest. Outside, grey clouds gather above our heads, threatening to break and pour torrents down upon us.
It's okay, my brain's just going, they needed a way to introduce Muriel.
That's
all my brain is doing.
I'm kind of having the same thing, to be honest. We're on our way to Volgora's estate, deep in the forest, but Nadia seems distracted, to say the least.
Which sounds weird, because again, Nadia has exposited exactly what makes her insecure and uncomfortable. Over and over again, she's talked about her sisters intimidating her and making her feel invalid and making her feel uncomfortable and small and basically ineffectual over and over again. Like, she's made it very, very clear, and she's also was very clear about Nazmira steals all the attention, she steals anyone paying attention to me, she steals all my friends and my cohorts, this is what happens.
Also, though, like, I'm sort of amused because I still don't know what the fuck is in the letter, unless, again, your main character can't read.
And she just, again, she didn't seem to think it was important enough to open, and I wonder if that's like a level of arrogance, of going, I don't even need to know what's in here.
To
find out who wrote it and what's up.
Well, a magical animal companion. Of course I don't need to open it, because sniff it. Find out, basically,
right.
Yes.
It cannot be Portia. She wouldn't betray me like that.
Nadia jerks the reins to the side as a crack of thunder startles the horses, quickly also startling her, actually, quickly adjusting course. There's a storm threatening to burst on Nadia's face as well, emotions broiling just underneath the surface.
She seems like she's already storming based on that statement, but we're talking about maybe she's about to crack?
Yeah, possibly.
Also going, it really does sound like the MC is clueless. I don't know why she's so upset. How weird. And I'm like, I feel like she has spelled it out real clearly exactly why that would bother her.
But again, why would Portia betray me? She's not bringing up her sister at all.
No.
She's bringing up Portia.
I get that. I was going to say, but at the same time, like...
Like, I like your theory, but I was kind of concerned going, again, what they're going to focus on. Portia's betrayed me! But you were going off so hard about my sisters and my siblings steal everyone from me.
And that seems like that was her kicker. Like, I was going to walk in and talk to Portia, and then when Portia sat down and was affectionate and or open with my sister, I went, shit, I can't handle this.
Right, and that could be also one of those things that you can't be very coordinated about it because you've got so many things banging on your head, you pick one. And that's the thing you basically now obsess over, and everything else just basically kicks it in overdrive.
The only thing is it whether it's just about Portia or whether it's about, my sister and Portia, or whether it's about this cool six-legged lizard thing, which I didn't notice before, I'm just like, there's an experience of going, I feel like the MC should have more information than this. They sound clueless.
They kind of do, and that seems very silly.
They
don't even have any necessarily, ideas that they're postulating, or in it. But again, I'm like, that's the thing that I think that kind of kills me sometimes about, the way that some visual novels are constructed, is to be like, let's be as sort of, blank as possible, but also weirdly then have some really strange or strong opinions that are literally trying to drive the plot.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like, that seems like a weird thing that your character would know, but that's okay.
Yes.
I don't know how to help, but I want to do something.
You've already done something. You've gotten into a carriage and run off into the distance with her. I don't understand. Why would she send the letter? Why bring my sister here?
Honey, you've been unconscious.
You also don't know what's in the letter or that she sent. I didn't.
It's fine.
Should I talk? You should talk to her. You should send her away. Oh, you should talk to her. Corazon is problem solving, like in everything I've ever experienced. Of going, you got me here to solve your problems.
Honestly, I hate to say
you should solve your problems.
I don't know if Corazon at this point would just be like, why are you asking me? Mm-hmm. Like, there is, again, that level of, like, you are just sort of flailing about in your own experience so much and going, are you actually capable or not? Are you, and again, this is harsh. I'm not saying Corazon is a nice character or a nice person at all in that way of going, like, I expect you to have basically a certain thing. And going, like, why are you asking me?
And the thing is that...
Why do you look to me? Why do you, like, I don't...
I feel like both of those are things that, for someone that has almost no opinions so far, and is just going, a thing happened. She ran out of the room. She's roiling with emotion. She seems distressed, going, here's what you should do. Seems very decisive, suddenly.
And it also sounds incredibly contradictory, even in the sense of, you should send her away, because we're finding answers is sending someone away?
Well, again, the only reason I go with, if these are the only options in all of reality, then you should talk to her is the one, because Corazon would go, you should solve this problem.
Yeah, which is the only way I could do it either. But I'm also just like, it's fine. You should talk to her.
Mm-hmm. Talk to her so that she can lie to me again.
You don't know what the fuck is going on. It's fine.
You also don't know what she's lied about, actually.
You really don't.
She's been slinking around my back all this time. No, Portia wouldn't do that to me. Portia's been doing this to me the whole time. You are a mess, dear.
You are a mess.
You are having a stress time. You're contradicting even yourself. You have so much emotions. Again, this sounds like trauma to me. This sounds like she has had such an incredibly painful and just damaging childhood that she cannot function. And she created this sort of idea of herself as an adult as, I'm going to be the most adulty, make adulty adult, more adult than everyone else around me. And in that way was unable...
She created her own narrative.
I say was unable to develop more complex emotional control because the entire thing was a facade, but it was a creation, you know? Like, okay, so there was someone that I helped at one point who had this OC that she visualized as being the most adulty adult ever and wanted to be like her, and really was this experience of, if I could act like this character that I've invented, who does all the things well, always comports herself well, is always contained, always has the answer, is always organized, is always chill, never is ruffled by anyone, then I will be the most ultimate perfect adult ever. And I feel like Nadia has constructed that narrative for herself. If I, and a lot of it seems steeped in basically toxic masculinity, interestingly enough, for Nadia's narrative of going, if I am stoic, if I am impassive, if I am commanding, and if I am unruffled by anything, if nothing affects me and I am always logical and contained, then I win.
But that's also a perception of basically what those traits are, basically, like, in a gendered fashion. So I think that's more you putting a gender on it. Like, so I love when people have actually broken down, basically, about going, like, what do these things actually mean on their own? Like, somebody went, okay, well, what is a father, right? And they were like, give me traits of what makes a father a father. What makes then a mother a mother? And a lot of people would bring up traits, and you're like, yeah, but isn't your mother also these things? It'd be like, well, yeah, okay. And then, like, you start realizing how much, basically, you have a gendered experience based on...
And the thing is, it doesn't mean that in the game it's gendered at all. It's just that's what those feel like from, like, a writer's perspective. That basically she is idealizing this sort of stoic, leaderly, masculine ideal.
Yeah.
And she just wants to be like the ultimate Vulcan king or something.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it is a good thing of also going, like, we're culturally used to basically those traits also being masculinized anyway.
I say, but like, at least even without a gender, it just sounds interesting that she has gotten this idea that what a good, powerful, contained adult or mature person is someone that doesn't really share or have emotions.
Yeah.
Because she keeps going, I'm not used to sharing. I'm uncomfortable with it. And her sister going, you're an extremely private person. You're very contained. You are an island. And her going, my experience is to want to and try to be an island. And the fact that you pull me out of it is confusing to me.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, we are actually out of time.
Oh, no.
Hey, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We will return to Nadia's distress in the next one. So thank you very much for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you are having a good time with us.
Yes.
If you would like to support us, please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We have some links in the description down below. We also do have a Twitch. We do have a Twitter. We do also have a Tumblr, and we do have an Instagram, actually. So feel free to check us out there as well.
It is also a way to support us directly by visiting us on Twitch.
Yes. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!